Hello all, welcome to the course on operating systems. In this video, we are going to see the introduction of operating systems. In this session, we are going to see the introduction to operating systems, examples of operating systems, operating system as a component of a computer system, the definition and goals of operating system, and more importantly, why to study operating systems. So let's begin. And whenever we use our computer in our day-to-day activities, we'll be observing so many devices that are being interconnected, which includes the monitor, the input devices that are keyboard and mouse, and also some output devices, which include the printer and the CPU. And there are several applications running on top of these hardware. And all these devices will not be able to interact directly because monitor without an operating system, it is not ready to use. And of course, the same is the case with the other input and output devices. That means without an operating system, they simply are the dummy devices. They are simply the dummy hardware devices with which the user will not be able to interact directly. So operating system is an important component that makes the user to use these hardware devices to effectively use and do the necessary activities. Few examples of operating systems that we use in our daily lives include Windows operating system, iOS, Android, Linux. So if you look at the nature of these operating systems, some operating systems are specifically used in case of desktops and laptops. Some of the operating systems are used for mobile devices also, like Android, iOS, they are used for mobile devices also. So no matter what kind of device that you use, be it the desktop computer or laptop or a mobile device, having an operating system is necessary in order to make use of these devices or to interact with the applications that are being running on these devices. Now let us see the formal definition of an operating system. And before that, let us see what exactly is the location of an operating system in a computer system. If you look at the different components of a computer system, at the bottom we have the computer hardware, which include the processor, memory, be it the RAM or the hard disk, and also the I/O devices including keyboard, mouse, printer, etc. On top, we have the application programs that are run by the user, which include the web browsers and the document editors or the word processors that we use. These all are called as the application programs. And in between the computer hardware and the application programs that are used by the user, there is an operating system. So basically, the function of the operating system is to provide an interface between the computer hardware and the application programs. Now let us look at the details of different components of the computer system, which include the hardware, which provides the basic computing resources. And always remember, in the computer science terminology, the computing resources means the CPU, the memory, and the I/O devices together are called as the computer resources, which are also called as the hardware of the computer. An operating system, it is the software that controls and coordinates the use of hardware among various applications and users. And application programs include any program that we are able to run on our device is called as an application program, which include the word processor or the spreadsheets or the browsers that we use or any application that we use. And also we have basically users. Users they can be either humans or they can be some other computers which are running the application programs, or it can be some other devices which can be machines also. So those are collectively called as the user. So users basically run the application programs which require the hardware resources, and since they can't directly interact with the computer hardware resources, operating system is required in order to provide an interface between the application programs and the computer hardware. Now let us see the definition and goals of an operating system. Operating system is a software which is necessarily a collection of programs that acts as an interface between the user of a computer and the hardware. This is the formal definition of an operating system. So it basically acts as an interface between the hardware and the user programs. Now let us look at the goals of an operating system. So whenever any operating system is being designed for a desktop kind of devices or for mobile devices, there are two important design goals that have to be kept in mind. The first one is to make the computer system convenient to use. So convenience is the first goal of an operating system. So you make more convenient for the users to use the operating system will be more successful. And next one is the next design goal is to use the computer hardware in an efficient manner. So previously we have seen the different hardware resources which include the CPU, memory and IO devices. So if you make the efficient use of hardware in order to provide services to the users, that is called as the efficiency. So these two design goals have to be kept in mind whenever an operating system is being designed. So once these two goals are achieved, the operating system will become more successful. Now let us see what is the need of studying the operating systems course. If you look at the statistics, only a very small portion of computer science professionals will be involved in the creation or modification of an operating system. So only few of the computer professionals only will be involved in the creation or the design of the operating system, and most of us will be using the operating system but not involved in the design of the operating system. Only very few professionals will be involved in the design of the operating system. But whatever the applications that we run as coders, all our code has to run on the top of an operating system. That is why the knowledge of how an operating system functions and how the operating system interacts or drives the computer hardware and what kind of services the operating system provides to the applications is required in order to write an efficient, effective and secure code. So though we do not directly involve in the design of the operating system, it is necessary to have the knowledge of how an operating system functions, how it interacts with the hardware and what kind of services an operating system is meant to provide for the applications is very much important. So with this, we came to the end of the introduction of the operating systems. Hope this introduction gives you the necessary base for going about the operating systems course and what is the need of studying the operating systems course.